Well, hurricane season a little over 2 months away. And with that, I want to talk about sort of the fundamentals, what we need to know as we go into hurricane season. Part of that is knowing what the NHC forecast cone represents. Yes, when we show you a hurricane track forecast that comes directly from the National Hurricane Center, it's presented in a cone. And yes, no, this is not an active storm, an actual storm, just an example of what that forecast cone would look like. It's very important here in Florida, in Southwest Florida, to understand what that cone forecast is showing you. It shows the probable track of the center of a tropical cyclone, meaning a tropical storm or hurricane. A storm will stay within the bounds of that cone 2/3 of the time by design. And very important to know, impacts often go outside the bounds of that cone. The cone isn't showing you the size of the storm. Oftentimes, the rain, the winds, that can extend beyond where that cone tracks. Now, the cone is actually drawn by using a series of circles. The National Hurricane Center determines the size of these circles before each season begins. Basically, they go back through the last 5 years of hurricane data, and they look at each point, where they forecast the storm to be versus where it actually was. Then the radius of each of these circles basically sweeps out where a storm was 2/3 of the time, or 67% of the time. Well, this year, the Hurricane Center is starting to think a little differently and is going to put out an experimental product and a change in the cone. The first significant change in how they designed that cone since they first introduced it in 2002. Instead of circles swept out by 2/3 of that absolute error, now the Hurricane Center is going to look at two different types of error. A long track error, basically how fast or slow the storm moved compared to the forecast, and the cross track error, so where it moved east to west relative to where the storm actually did track. And it's going to then draw out that cone using ellipses instead of perfect circles. Now, an example, and this is using Milton back in 2024. So again, not an active storm. Don't get nervous here. The current cone is in this hashed red line. And you can see the new experimental cone in the white isn't that much different from it. But there is a big difference in the expected accuracy of this new cone. Here, follow me over here. Whereas again, the current cone, you expect the storm to track within it 2/3 of the time. This new cone, 90% accuracy. The storm would stay within the bounds of it 9/10 of the time. So again, along with the current cone, the NHC will be putting this out along with it. It'll be studied over the next couple of years, perhaps becoming the new cone, a more accurate forecast in upcoming hurricane seasons. All serves as a reminder, the off season not with us much longer, only 68 days left until this hurricane season starts on June 1st. Of course, anything out there this year, we'll be tracking it for you at Gulf Coast Weather.